About 7 or 8 minutes now before we will actually start with this session. I'm glad to see that there is quite a few students that has logged in. That's good. I think we're going to have a very good session tonight. As you know, that the questions that you guys did also brought in the effect of glucose. So low amount of lactose means that there is a chance that this small amount of lactose can indeed go and bind onto the repressor and remove it. And as soon as that repressor is removed, but remember now, this is a very small chance of that taking place because there's very low amounts of the genes are frequently transcribed. So in these three scenarios shown here, you can see that when glucose is low, lactose is high, we have high amounts of expression. In any of the other scenarios, one will find very infrequent amounts of transcription. In essence, your operon is actually switched off.
And your rho dependence basically means that it's dependent on a protein called rho. In other words, the promoter is there, the promoter tells RNA polymerase, please start here. So it starts with the initiator and then it continues and then it has to terminate. How does it terminate? Well, if it's rho dependent, there's an actual sequence, found within the DNA. The other option is to go the rho independent route. That means the rho protein is not involved. With rho independent, there's a bit of secondary structure shown over here. You can see this hairpin loop structure here. And what literally happens is that you can see here's your gene.
I want to quickly pose another question for you guys to see if you are actually still awake. So the question that I'm going to ask you guys is as follows. Which gene express the repressor? Alright, so what's that gene's name? I'm going to give you options. The LAC-A. Alright, so I'm going to post the question now. I see Sophie has asked about the negative and the positive regulation. Alright, I will quickly talk about that now. Just quickly do this question for me. Which gene expresses the repressor? There should be a window that pops up now on your screen. Please select. Do not send me a message with the answer. Alright, there's still some of you I'm waiting for an answer. Don't let me call out names again. So LAC-I is the one that actually produces the repressor. If I just quickly go back here to where I have my picture of the operon, you can see here shown in blue at the top is the regulatory gene. That regulatory gene is called LAC-I, which produces the repressor.
Having used Electromeet for revision purposes, I actually gained a lot of courage in using it because I was very, very scared in the beginning, but I find it a very, very useful tool to communicate with the students. And I think that the students learned a lot from it.
Electromeet helped us really a lot. It was great after hours, especially when you're at home sitting down. And usually most of the questions that you have, and when you ask the lecturers, you get straightforward answers.
Electromeet for me was a great fun and a lot of help, especially with the stuff that you didn't understand in class that you thought you understand, and now when you're trying to study, the lecturers explain it to me.
What I enjoy personally about Electromeet is though, when a person is an introvert, you're able to interact with the teacher from afar, but also it feels so personal.